Hey there. I'm glad you're here as we wrap up week one of this journey we've been on as a church called More Than Words. And we've been asking the question every day this week, God, what might you be up to in my life today? And the question for this morning as we get started is, how strong do you feel today? Think about that. How strong do you feel? Do you feel like you're strong today, you're on top of everything, you're capable to take on every challenge that's going to come your way today? Or are you on the other end where there just seems to be so much on your shoulders and can't keep up with all of it, and you're wondering or doubting if you have the strength to make it through? In all the years that I played football, strength was always a little bit lacking for me. When I was in high school, I always, in the weight room, would bench press and squat way less than all the other players. And it's not that I didn't work out, but I just didn't have the results that the other guys had. And then I got to the University of Georgia and walked on there to play wide receiver. And I was with guys like Benjamin Watson, who ended up playing for multiple NFL teams for many, many years. And that guy bench pressed 565 pounds. I watched him do it, and I'm like, you could give me 3 reps and I probably couldn't get 565 pounds up in the air. If I split it up, if I divided it by 3. Strength was always a big question mark for me when it came to football. And in life, you and I can feel the same way. We can feel like we don't measure up, or that we don't match up, or that we don't have what it takes. And today I want to encourage you around your strength, where you're drawing your strength from. I want to read an excerpt from a book called God Calling, and it's a little devotional. It's written by A.J. Russell. A couple days ago, I encouraged you with what's personal and specific in your life, and I can't tell you how many times the daily reading, and it's broken up by days, how many times the daily reading has been so personal for me. This book was actually written by 2 anonymous women that lived together in early 1930s. And basically what they did is during their time of prayer, they began to write down or to journal what they felt like God was saying to them in that moment. And they collected it over the course of a year. And a gentleman by the name of A.J. Russell got a hold of it, and it was so good, he said, hey, this needs to be published, but they didn't want any credit for it. They didn't think that they were any kind of special people. They didn't have seminary degrees. They didn't have theology degrees. They simply were humble, and they approached God with a willing heart and a willing mind, and God spoke to them in these incredible ways. And so they just didn't feel right getting the fame and the applause for this. And so A.J. said, well, can I publish it on your behalf and give you the credit for it? And so he did. And because it was written in the early 1930s, there is some language that just feels out of date, and some of it doesn't necessarily relate, and some of the things they talk about are personal experiences, but oftentimes it will intersect with my life in a very personal and specific way. And today I wanted to read the post for September 30th, the entry that they have for September 30th. It says this: I have promised that for every day you live, the strength shall be given to you. Do not fear. And again, this is God speaking to them. And I would say in a lot of ways, God speaking to me and you. The message is true here. I've promised that for every day you live, the strength shall be given you. Do not fear. For face each difficulty sure that the wisdom and strength will be given you for it. Claim it. Rely on me to keep my promise about this. In my universe, for every task I give one of my children, there is set aside all that is necessary for its performance. So why fear? So why doubt? I love those last 2 questions because so often our fear and our doubt comes from the question of, will we have the strength to do what's in front of us? Will we be able to accomplish it? What will happen? And this encouragement today from God calling is really, in a way, God saying, no, my strength is sufficient for you. And if you try to draw on your own strength, or if you try to draw on the strengths of the things around you, it's going to fall short. But my strength for you is sufficient. There's so many scriptures that talk about the strength that we get from God. Ephesians 6:10 says, finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Psalm 29:11, the Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. Philippians 4:13, a very popular verse, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. He's talking about facing different circumstances, whether really, really good circumstances or really, really hard circumstances. God is the one who strengthens us to go through them. Isaiah 41:10, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And then Psalm 20, verse 7. Some trust in chariots and some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. It speaks to this idea that a horse is a very strong being, and a chariot is built to be very, very strong. In that day and age, those were some of the clearest pictures of strength. And he's saying some people trust in those things, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. We trust in the strength that he's giving us. And so today, go in strength. Be filled with strength today. But find it not in yourself and not in the strong things around you, but find it in the strength that your heavenly Father provides for you. He knows you need it. He knows that I need it. And he's faithful to provide it. Maybe today, as you ask the question, what might he be up to in my life? You'll see him providing you strength in the very place that you need it. Go in strength today. I'll see you next time.